And it's now 13 years since Wednesday tasted victory over the Blades. We're talking about that massacre at Hillsborough on this week's episode. 3-0, Cannon scores, Campbell scores, and everything is right with the world. How are you all doing? Welcome back to Where Blades Walk. We've got Shaq, Stan and Connor, who are three very, very delirious Blades fans this week. Hope you're doing well. We're also talking about dodgy goalkeepers, looking ahead to the games this week, and we're carrying on with our A to Z of Sheffield United. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Drop us a quick sub. It's 20 minutes of weekly Blades chat, looking back at all the games and talking about all the talking points that come up with this fantastic historic football club. Connor, you enjoy that?
Massively so, yeah. I mean, we're all sort of worried from last episode, and trying to be a bit optimistic. I only went with a 1-0, but that's the most comfortable I have ever been watching the Steel City derby. I had a little bit of nerves that first 10 minutes. They sort of started off all right Wednesday, but since the goal, we just completely controlled it. I mean, referee clearly felt sorry for him. If it weren't for him, there were probably a nailed-on penalty in there. Them offside calls against us, pretty tight. I think they could have gone either way. I mean, everything with United. There weren't a player on pitch that you can criticise. I mean, I've moaned about Peck, I've moaned about Campbell many times this season so far, but everyone were unbelievable. And if we can get that mentality and take that forward, we can easily finish out at bottom three and not have no worries. But it's you don't want to get too excited. It is a Wednesday team that is under par and obviously the bottom of the table for a reason. So I don't want to get too far ahead, but like I said, it's a massive step in the right direction again. And continue with this form. We've only got to look up from now on.
Amazing. All right, Shax, who needs a shout out from you then that perhaps has had a little bit of stinging criticism in previous weeks?
All 11 of them need a shout out because they all played well. We battered them. I thought Peck were brilliant. Sarike, McCallum, Campbell obviously scored his 2 goals. I can't say Cooper because he's not touched both, but the 10 outfield players I thought me and Tanganga, like anything what went remotely near them, they just dealt with that. Campbell were a threat up front. Aware were his usual buzzing around, pressing. Reid Evaldi in middle, brilliant. He just abused Barry Bannan for every minute they were on pitch. Brooks were Brooks, but he got stuck in. I don't think he created much, but he got stuck in. So they were all brilliant. Really, we just put a very, very poor side to bed, which is what we've not been capable of doing this season, which is why we are where we are in league. But if we can do what we've done today against them poor sides, then we should start kicking on from here, hopefully.
And just a little word on Tom Cannon, if you would.
Yeah, I mean, I said I went to Coventry away, and I thought Wilder took wrong man off when he took Cannon off, not Campbell, and I made a point of just watching Cannon, and I thought he played all right, and then he's come on today, he's missed that one-on-one, and a lot of players then would get their head down, but he got his head up, have a shot, and it's gone in. So if anybody deserves it, I guess it's kind of him, isn't it? A bit of a redemption. He's, no matter what happens in his rest of his Blades career or what's happened previously, he can always say, I scored a derby goal, which is not something that many players get to say. Well, yeah, no Sheffield Wednesday players will get to say that for last, I don't know how long, so can have that one, Corner.
Okay. I saw a tweet that said, this is what happens when someone threatens to send you back to Stoke. You book your ideas up.
Yeah, I could be part of it.
Right, Dan, let's talk about this defensive one, because I think it was you've pointed out, haven't you, that now two in a row, yeah, clean sheets. What's led up to now you looking like a more solid unit?
I think, to be honest, it's going back to basics, taking out the back five, other 3 centre halves, if you like, and the 1 striker, and going to 2 strikers. I think that's made a big difference. We're creating more opportunities, keeping clean sheets, looking a lot more defensively solid, which is what we've needed to do. But we aren't trying to be negative because I want to enjoy today. We're not out of the woods. I mean, we've got 4 points. but onwards and upwards we keep building. Today we're really clinical. I mean, against a side that really haven't really got another gear, to be fair to them. They haven't really got another gear because of where they're at, but I'm not bothered about that. I'm bothered about us, and we like I said, we could have had 6 or 7, even 8 today, and that's being kind. No, we're good. We've gone back to 4-4-2, gone back to basics, and if we continue like that and we're in with a shout, come January and we bring players in, then fantastic, because we'll be looking at a mid-table finish. But we've got to enjoy today because that were very clinical, and icing on cake for us were Tom Cannon, and a fantastic day. But big shout out really to Ben Mee. I thought he were excellent. Won everything that came in the air, every threat. It were tremendous today, and would have been my man at match. But as Shaq said, I think all the team really were brilliant, and long may it continue.
Yeah, really pleased for Campbell and for Cannon as well, who had their critics in a couple of weeks. We'll get your views on the signing of Bamford as well in a second, which we haven't spoken about. This happened since the last week. Connor, just to flip, as you've probably seen already, the Wednesday fans are saying that you over-celebrated at the end there. The picture in front of with the away fans. Lots of them commented kind of, Wednesday Open top bus parade and so on. Your response to that?
No chance. At the end of the day, it's a derby game. I don't care what position you're in. Last season, we were at top at league, and they were down near bottom. Did that mean we couldn't celebrate them? We still did. You know what I mean? It don't matter what position you're in. You come up against your rivals. Form goes out window. It don't matter what league table looks like. It's just on the day sort of thing. And like I say, I don't care what position we're in, what position they're in. If we beat them, I'm going to love every minute of it, and I'm going to celebrate like mad regardless. And it'd be different if it were flipped other way, because everyone feels sorry for Wednesday. It'd be, oh, it's great, look at them, they've won, blah, blah. It's just stupid. You're getting criticised nowadays for celebrating a win, and it's like every team does it. It just, I don't know, it just really annoys me. It's standard procedure in football. You win a game, you celebrate. You do it against your arch rivals that you've been beaten. You know what I mean? You're going to enjoy it, and I loved every minute. I were absolutely buzzing. When we scored that first goal, I was buzzing, and every goal that went in, me and all my mates were absolutely going nuts, and I'd never change it, never.
I mean, just to touch on that, it's annoyed me a little bit. What do they expect us to do? Like last time, manager were dancing on tables, and what does he expect us to do? Just get back on bus and not send out? Because if Butt were on other foot, they'd be running for Willsborough Park, doing aeroplane and doing other things like that, and everything else, and supping beer on the streets. The morons, they do me head in. Why shouldn't we celebrate it? Yeah. We're better than them. We've been better than them since 2013, and we'll continue to be better than them for a long time yet. So they need to accept it and let us keep celebrating. End of story.
Yeah. Did you see Wilder when he was trying to count the Wednesday fans still in the stadium? Yeah, that's going to be a meme for a long time, isn't it? As well. Right. Let's move on from the derby game then. Shaq's Bamford. Yes, is signed between when we last had a chat. What are your thoughts on dipping into the free agent market, and can this only be a positive?
Yeah, there is no negatives. It's a short-term deal. He's got to prove that he can stay fit, and then obviously he's come on today. And you could tell with that just them few touches that he did have and areas that he got in, that he's quality. He were in England set up not long back. I think 3-4 years ago. He was one of the top scorers in Premier League. I think he was one of the top English scorers in Premier League. So he's got quality and he's got pedigree. He just needs to be fit, if you like. And I know that's probably harder than it seems. Otherwise, he probably would still be at Leeds. But if he can stay fit, we've got a player on his hands, and it's completely different to what we've got. We've got somebody that we can hit from deep. We've got somebody that wingers can cross the ball into. We've got somebody that defenders can pump a ball up to. We've not really got that moment, so I'm all for it. And I'm not bothered about his past, about who he's played for, what songs he's sung. I'm not bothered. He plays for us now. He's got a Sheffield United shirt on, and he's one of us. And he's on away end. Well, he's at away end today at Hillsborough, dancing with Wilder. So he's took it on board straight away. What he's got to do, hasn't he? You know what I mean? He's a blade. That's it.
Okay. Wilder did an interview, Dan, over the period where he basically said he admitted that it's been tougher than he expected, and then within there he was talking about the group of players he's inherited and the ones he's had last year about not perhaps putting in the performances that he expected. Of all the players he's inherited that weren't here last season, who do you think he's most trying to attribute those comments to that has fallen well short of what they can achieve?
I think probably all of them. Knowing Chris Wilder, the critique that is probably harder on more of them. You expect more. You expected more from Campbell because after last season, you expected more from, even though he's a young lad, Harrison Burrows, and Sam McCallum's come in and took his place. Probably you over expecting, including myself in recent weeks, on Sidi Pecco. And that's the difficulty. I think Femi Siriki was out of the team early doors. He was one that Chris Wilder said had not, that was partly out of the squad because of what happened in the early games. So I think all of them's got to take some responsibility for that. And I think it's a collective thing, not just individual. But as you see now, players that were signed by the previous manager, the likes of Tyler Binden and Louis Barry, are nowhere to be seen. And that tells me all I need to know really about where we are as a squad. But yeah, I hope I've answered that. I wanted me to, but yeah, I think pretty much all of them haven't performed really.
Do you see Barry going back in January?
Yeah, I think he will. I think Barry will go back. If he's not going to play, he's taking up a loan slot. I think potentially Tyler Binden as well. I think and probably Ben Godfrey. Obviously, something personal has happened there because he's playing pretty much every minute for the 23s and not getting nowhere near the first team. So, I think the only domestic loan he will keep is Cheo Benny. I think he's the one that, because of, I think he's, so they'll potentially have 4 domestic loans to use, and I think he'll maximise all that because that's the only way we'll move forward. But just touching on what you said about what you're talking about, Bamford there, Danny Ings as well, 2 ex-England forwards, or being in England squad. I think we it's a no-brainer for us, that deal. So let's see what happens. But yeah, onwards and upwards, really.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at, looking at 11 as trying to watch it between other things, and that starting 11 is not bad, Connor, is it? That is not a relegation side at all when you look at it on paper. No,
definitely not. Like I said, obviously we know football's not played on paper, but if you look at the squad itself, I mean, if you reverse it 5 years back, squad we've got now would probably be a bottom half Premiership team sort of thing. It's just a shame we've got quite a few in them when they're sort of just past the prime, in likes of Danny Ings and stuff like that. But it's been a mystery, especially with how bad we started. But we all know why with everything that went off with Sellers and all that. So you can sort of understand it, but it's nice that we're sort of getting back to that level and we'll be able to consistently pick points up. And yeah, I did really have my concerns at start, especially when Sellers were here. But now we're picking stuff up. I'm feeling a lot more comfortable about us beating the drop. I can't say it for definite, but for me, from where we're looking at right now, I'm pretty confident that we can get out of this relegation zone.
Probably starts this Wednesday night, doesn't it, when Pompey visit, who haven't been in great form themselves other than the weekend. Of course, Leicester on Saturday, Shacks, which is probably going to be quite a difficult fixture, I'd imagine. Would you take a draw at Leicester and obviously 3 points at Pompey, or is 3 enough this week?
Leicester have knocked me out of 2 last man standings this season, so they can't be doing that well. But it's one of the. It's like with momentum. Like 1 week I can think that we're going down, and then 1 week I could see it. I think now if we played Coventry this week, I think we'd have a better chance than last week, if that makes sense. So I fancy us to beat Portsmouth, and I fancy us to get something at Leicester. So I mean, if you're asking me, do I think we're going to beat them? I think we've got a chance. I honestly do. I think if they play like they played today, yeah, they were playing Wednesday today, or they're a League One side, maybe even a League Two side. I don't even know what they are. They were that bad, but they're a side that's in our league, and the 11 that started for them they're all senior pros, with exception of probably Ari Mas. They're all senior pros. They've got players in there what's cost money, like Ugbo, the couple of million or whatever it was. So although they are terrible, we're playing a side there that on paper probably are better than the first 11, certainly better than some other people's 11s, like an Oxford or something like that. You know what I mean? So I think we could go to Leicester and get something, and I fancy us to beat Portsmouth now. And it's funny what a week does.
Yeah. Okay, we'll of course be back here in 7 days' time to review all of that. Stay tuned though, we've still got the A to Z to come. We're talking about the letter G this week, and on reflection of that, we're also talking about goalkeepers, but not the good ones. We want to get your thoughts on who's the worst ever or dodgiest goalkeeper you've seen between the sticks. Let us know, of course, in the comments here. First of all, we're massively grateful for everyone who's managed to get us up to 900 subs in the last video. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. It means the world to us. We've only started this over a year, just over a year ago now, so to have grown this so quickly is down to you guys watching. We're really, really humbled that you want to listen to us for 20 minutes a week, and thank you for continuing to do so. It's one of the quickest growing Sheffield United podcasts there is on the internet. Whether you agree with us or disagree with us, we're just grateful that you can listen. Right, anybody got a dodgy goalkeeper they want to put forward for being the worst ever between the sticks?
Eo Gerbich or Lee Baxter. Sorry, lads, if I stole your thunder, but
don't forget Olsen though. He was just as bad as Gribbage and all. Verrips, he only played a very odd game, but I think that was a 4-0 loss to West Brom, and he was very questionable as well.
Simmons, for me.
I think Gribbage and Olsen were far worse than him. Far worse. He had a game.
Sorry, if I'm honest, I remember, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure it was Turf Moor. And we were 3-0 down at half time, and Lee Baxter came, and he played in Champions League for someone like Lillestrøm or someone like that at a Scandinavian team. Cheers. And he came and he looked like he'd just come out of Sunday League, he'd just played a game, and every shot they took at him, went through him, and they brought experienced pro on, Alan Fettis at half time. We ended up getting beat 3-2, and Fettis kept a clean sheet second half. He's got to be, for me, the worst goalkeeper I've ever seen. I mean, Gerbich, don't get me wrong, was shocking. We were team low on confidence. Same with Robin Olsen. I mean, he's made over 70 caps for Sweden, and we were low on confidence under him. So I think my personal pick would be Baxter or Gerbich, but whatever you guys think. Well,
we want to hear in the comments. You've heard all the debate there. Who would you pick? I can't put Simonson in Shaq's from Everton connections.
But I agree with both them two though. They've come up with some crackers there. To be fair, Simonson and who did you say, Connor?
Verrips.
Yeah. Verrips is another one. He weren't great.
Well, I can't believe we've not mentioned Adam Davis, who we've currently got, because he come on at Coventry last week, and he were like, it was like he'd won a competition. It was like they just picked one of Coventry fans out at stand and just said, "Do you want to come on and put a pair of gloves on?" He was terrible, and he's done that a few times. To be fair, Davis.
Okay. The only thing I'll say on Davis is he has actually saved 2 penalties for him, so I think that just automatically makes him better than the rest of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, let us know in the comments then, please. The worst goalkeeper ever played for United. We'll read some of your comments out next week. Hopefully you can settle this debate more than these guys can. Letter G we're up to then. If you've not seen this before, we're picking one player, one event, one manager, one person connected with the Blades for each letter of the alphabet. We're up to G this week. Open forum. Who wants to throw something in for this?
John Gannon. Jim Gannon. That's the only one I can think of. Or Geese Breaks, Dabby Geese Breaks, but with legends beginning with a G, I can't think of any.
Kevin Gage.
I've heard of him, but I've never actually seen him play.
That's a tough one. It stumped me. We're thinking off the top of my head.
Only two I know of from when I've watched is Keith Gillespie and Derek Geary, and they both played a lot of games
Gotta
for
go
us.
with Geary.
Yeah,
What about Garbage?
Oh yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I think Geary's a good shout. He actually came and I thought it was terrific under Neil Warnock, to be honest. And he's now our academy manager, responsible for developing our academy players.
Joined us from Darkside as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I always love Gillespie's goal though. That one he hit in Premier League, that volley.
Against Charlton.
Yeah,
with
rage
Charlton.
screamer. Yeah, I love that for him. But yeah, I would say Geary over him.
Okay, Geary gets in unless in the chat you can point out some of glaringly obvious that we've all overlooked. Right, thank you very much, you three. Very happy to have your company this week. Great to see you back with smiles on your faces as well, as smug as they are. We'll see.
Might not last long, but
It might not last long.
tonight.
When Pompey are 2-0 up at half time, it might not last long, but we'll see.
Before we go as well, Mark, we need to do a special missing appeal for Barry Bannan. If you've seen him or anybody knows where he is, just get in contact, comments anywhere you want. We need to know where he's gone, because all I hear about is he's a world beater, and that's 6 times I've seen him against us, and I don't even know if he's played or whatever he's done.
Yes, as Shaq said.
If anybody sees him or watches this video, let us know where he is. He's got less hair than me somehow.
As Shaq said, it's really important we find this man. You can point him out to Sheffield Online or South Yorkshire Police and let us know. We hope we find him safe and well.
He's apparently an hero, world beater. He's keeping them up single-handedly. He's working for 6-7 grand a week, whatever he's doing, but he is missing, and we don't know where he is. Wednesday put him on team sheet today, but that's it. That's last we saw him.
And with that, we'll wish you farewell. Have a good week, everyone.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers.